And a lot of them don't even know where they're at in their current relationships. What's up, breathing people? Welcome back. Today we're talking about, are we dating? And this is a question that we have never really asked because we knew when we entered a dating relationship, we wanted to get married or not. That's what we were trying to figure out. If you want more information on that, there's a couple videos that we have in our channel about dating for the purpose of marriage. But today we want to answer that question that a lot of people on the internet are asking. It was amazing to me going into search results and looking for what people are asking when it comes to dating. And a lot of them don't even know where they're at in their current relationships. So we have two things that we want to go over. First, intentionality. Now this is something that really helps you in every area of life, but if you bring it into your dating relationships, it's going to really help you. It's going to solidify so many things that I think are up in the air in a lot of relationships that people are in. This is something that honestly would help in every relationship that you're a part of, because intentionality helps you understand why you're there for that person, why that person's there for you, why this relationship exists. And I'm talking about all different relationships, friendships, dating relationships, all of them. So intentionality is a really important thing. And then the second thing that we're going to talk about is communication. You can have all the intentionality in the world in your brain, but you need to talk about it with the other person that's in that relationship.
Intentionality and communication just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself asking the question, are we dating? Or what is this relationship? And you're asking that question in your head, that means that the intention of that relationship has not been set. And so it's up to you to set the intentions.
Yeah.
And I would encourage you to take some time, if you're asking yourself that question, to sit down and ask yourself what you want from that relationship. What do you expect to happen? What do you want to happen? Mm-hmm. What is your goal in that? Is your goal marriage? Because you need to find that out if that's the same as the other person. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what are my intentions? What are my desires for this relationship? And go meet that person and ask them those same questions and see where they stand. And there's so much power in you knowing what you desire for that relationship, because it opens up a box. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but it opens up the conversation for you to be honest with that other person and say, hey, where is this going?
Yeah.
And this is what I think and what I desire. And then you can move forward in that dating relationship, or maybe it's going to lend itself to another relationship. Maybe that person's just like, yeah, no, I'm not ready for marriage. I just thought this was a friendship. Well, that's great, because now you know, maybe you're sad about that, but now you know, I'm not going to give all my time to this person if I want to get married, because that person isn't ready for that. And so now you've saved yourself a lot of trouble and you saved yourself time. But opening that communication and setting those intentions are going to help you have clarity as you walk forward.
Yeah. Hopefully we're not opening Pandora's box, but all boxes need to be opened in a relationship. That's the thing. If you're going to move forward in whatever dating relationship you're a part of, and you're really finding out that this person believes that we're in a dating relationship, we're moving in a certain direction in this relationship, dude, all those boxes have to be opened before you are able to actually move into a mature relationship. So open those boxes, open that communication with that intentionality brought to the table. One thing that I think would be really helpful is if you took some time to kind of meditate and reflect on that question and say, what do I actually want in this relationship? Write it down if you have to write it down. Then go to that person and say, hey, can we set a time where we can talk about something? I have this question of, are we dating? And what do we want this relationship to look like? Could you think about that and then we talk about it at a later time? That gives that person some time to do some personal reflection, to do some meditation of their own on the relationship. And maybe they're gonna come and say, what? I didn't even know this was anything. Like you said, maybe this was just a friendship and I was taking it way too far. that's fine too. At least you know that now, because now there's freedom. Now there's freedom to move on to another person, or now there's freedom to say, this isn't the person for me.
And here is a very important tip for anyone who is anything like me. If you have a question in your mind, you're scared to bring up a certain topic, do it. Do it. Because your silence is not actually keeping any peace. There still might be a disagreement there, or there still might be a problem there, and you have to talk about it. Especially when it comes to dating. I know for me, when I was dating, I really liked him, and so I was scared to bring certain topics up. You have to bring those topics up. And if you don't know if you're dating that person and you want to date them, you gotta bring that up. Because if they don't know that, they might even go find somebody else.
Yeah.
So you gotta talk about those things that are in the back of your head and just lay it out there. And if that person responds poorly, at least you know, well, maybe this relationship wasn't as strong as I thought.
Yeah. And if that person is really adverse to having these types of conversations, or this type of conversation, that is something that you need to just be aware of. Because you're gonna be communicating. If this is a relationship that's long-term, you're gonna be communicating for the rest of your life. So you really want that person to be someone who is receptive to, one, your desires to communicate, and to communication in general. If you're bringing something to the table, that person needs to be able to put aside time to have that moment with you. Because that's really something that's very lost in a lot of communication, is that there's so much love that is felt and given in communication. So another thing, don't avoid those conversations, because honestly, it's a lack of love for that person to avoid them. If you love that person, you will talk to them and you will listen. So that's another thing too. Make sure that you're not going into this conversation to trying to figure out the right word.
Dominate
The conversation. There we go. You don't want to dominate this conversation. This isn't a match. This isn't a boxing match that you have to win. This is something that you want to be an enriching time, an enriching conversation. So make sure that you come with also the intention of growth, the intention of love, because if you're having this conversation with the person, I'm guessing that you love them. I'm guessing that you have certain feelings that you really want to just get out there in the open so that you can figure out how you can move forward in this relationship. So I hope that helps. Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I wish I would have watched this video when I was dating.
Yeah, a lot of the videos that we're gonna produce on this channel, I wish we had those.
We learn from failure.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Everything that we talk about, we have experienced, and we know what it's like to fail in those areas. So I hope this helps. I hope you will go have the conversations you need to have. I hope you will reflect and be intentional with all of your relationships so that they can be healthy. All right? Cool. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Right now I'm in the studio where we shoot our podcast. If you didn't know about it, all of the topics that we discuss on our channel, we also discuss in long form conversations on our podcast, Just Breathing. So check it out. The link's in the description below if you want to go deeper into this subject, or you just like long form conversation. It's there for you. So check it out. Thank you. Until next time, goodbye.